Hustling fans were not content with the basic changes in Formula One motor directions that were presented for the 2014 season. The world's overwhelming dashing class was about greatest speed and energy, not effectiveness and CO2 lessening, which was the concentration of the new turbocharged 1.6-liter half-breed powertrains. In addition, the possibility that hustling enhances the breed has been touted as far back as the mid-1900s, yet, other than rear-view mirrors and circle brakes, dashing advancements that have exchanged to road autos have been rare. The forthcoming Mercedes-AMG Project One modifies that history by bringing innovation from the all-vanquishing Mercedes-AMG Formula One auto to the road, with the most intriguing and most direct innovation exchange from the Grand Prix auto being the motor. Current F1 regs direct that the motor must be a turbocharged 90-degree V6 uprooting 1.6 liters. It must have 4 overhead camshafts activating 4 valves for every chamber and pneumatic valve springs, and it can't rev higher than 15,000 revolutions per minute. The drag size can be no more noteworthy than 80.0 mm, which implies the stroke is 53.0 mm to accomplish 1.6 liters. Just as solitary, coordinate fuel injector is permitted per chamber, yet it can work at a most extreme weight of 7,250 pounds per square inch. In the race autos, this motor delivers somewhere in the range of 700 pull at around 11,500 revolutions per minute with around 25 pounds per square inch of turbo support. Basic with this motor is an electric engine generator that the F1 swords call AMG motor generator unit kinetic, which is restricted to greatest yield of 120 kilowatts, or 161 strength. This gadget must be coupled specifically to the motor's crankshaft upstream of the grip. However, there can be a guardian included. With a greatest allowed speed of 50,000 revolutions per minute, this proportion is likely around 4:1, and by turning the engine at such fast, its size and weight can be diminished. A base weight of 15.4 pounds is indicated for this engine, amazing for its 161 horsepower yield. In braking, the engine fills in as a generator to deliver power to charge the half-and-half framework's battery. Equation 1 motors likewise have another engine generator, this one named MGUH, for motor generator unit heat. This engine is coupled to the motor's single extensive turbocharger and conveys no torque to the wheels. In the Mercedes, the MGUH creates 107 drive with a base weight of 8.8 pounds and fills 2 needs. In the first place, it is utilized to keep the huge turbocharger turning at rapid to furnish moment throttle reaction with no slack, that is hostile to slack, without infusing additional fuel and an auxiliary air infusion. Second, it can create power when the fumes turbine is delivering more power than required by the compressor. Instead of sidestep the overabundant stabilitate stream with a wastegate, the MGUH ingests the extra vitality to help charge the battery, despite the fact that a customary wastegate is still piece of the framework. On the Mercedes motor, the turbocharger's compressor and turbine wheels are situated on inverse finishes of the little motor piece, with the MGUH embedded between them on one long shaft. The power created and utilized by the two electric engines is put away in a lithium particle battery that weighs, as indicated by the F1 rules, in the vicinity of 44 and 55 pounds. The battery can nourish the MGUK with a greatest of 1.1 kilowatt-hours per lap, which doesn't seem like much, yet it's sufficient to control the 161 horsepower engine for over 33 seconds at full power, an extremely helpful power support on corner exit. This point-by-point depiction of the Mercedes F1 control unit is helpful to understanding the Project One street auto, since it utilizes basically a similar unit with a couple of key contrasts. To begin with, for motor lifespan, the V6 motor works at bring down RPM for the road. In light of the Project One's asserted aggregate power yield of around 1000 pull, the burning motor is making around 520 drive, which compares to a power crest lesson from the race motor's 11,500 revolutions per minute to around 9,000 revolutions per minute, in spite of the fact that the red line is still upward of 10,000 revolutions per minute. The road form additionally lingers at around 1,000 revolutions per minute, down from 4,000 in the racer. Second, notwithstanding the 161 horsepower MGUK engine coordinated with the motor and driving the back wheels, the Project One gets 2 extra 161 horsepower electric engines to control its front wheels autonomously. Like the 50,000 revolutions per minute MGUK, these engines are equipped to the wheels. They can give more prominent regenerative braking and catch up to 80% of the deceleration vitality created amid ordinary driving. Besides, these engines are autonomously controlled to give torque vectoring that enhances fast cornering. The Project One uses a similar kind of lithium particle battery as the F1 Auto and an upsized adaptation of the racer's 800-volt electrical framework. Remember that with the 3 electric engines delivering a consolidated 360 kilowatts, 483 pull, the electrical streams are considerable. Indeed, even at 800 volts, the current is no less than 450 amps, requiring thick electrical links. At the 300 to 400 volts utilized as a part of most mixtures, those links would be generously thicker and heavier. The battery pack is bigger than the F1 Autos also. Some portion of this is to help nourish the 2 extra 161 horsepower engines controlling the front wheels. Another reason is to give more noteworthy vitality effectiveness in typical driving, which doesn't take after the anticipated blend of basically full speeding up and full braking seen on a Grand Prix circuit. At long last, the Project One module crossover has a guaranteed electric just scope of 15 miles, probably on some gentle, government-ordered driving cycle and not on a course. This battery, which we assess has a limit of around 4.0 kilowatt-hours, is mounted under the Auto's front floor, bringing together its 220-pound weight and limiting the link lengths required to the different electrical components. The enchantment of this plenty of innovation is a pinnacle warp productivity of more than 40%. Mercedes claims that is higher than any present generation motor. Most generation motors top in the mid-30% run, and just the most proficient Atkinson cycle half-and-half power plants even claim 40%. For an elite powertrain with 1000 torque, 40 or more % is an astounding figure. The mid-mounted motor is associated with an 8-speed successive transaxle from F1 providers track that is powerfully incited and can be moved utilizing oars or permitted to work consequently. The Auto rides on a modern suspension that additionally gets Formula One plan components. In advance, there are unequal length control arms, which hope to be manufactured aluminum. Push rods move rocker arms that sustain suspension burdens to curl spring, damper units that are on a level plane displayed over the highest point of the front subframe. One of these loopovers goes about as a hurl control gadget, working extra time when the 2 wheels of a pivot move a similar way. Race autos utilize hurl springs to correctly control the ride's stature and not irritated painstakingly composed streamline components as downforce works at speed. The other loopover manages body roll. The back suspension utilizes multi-link geometry with a comparable, pushrod actuated double loopover setup. Carbon artistic brake rotors work with a regenerative stopping mechanism to disperse speed. They're encompassed by fashioned aluminum focus bolt wheels with halfway carbon fiber covers intended to enhance wind stream around the tires while as yet giving some brake cooling wind current. Reaching the street are bespoke Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, 285/35 ZR19S on 10 broad wheels in front and 335/30 ZR20S on 12 inches in the back. The Project One's body utilizes F1 development procedures to deliver a totally extraordinary shape, a 2-situate roadster instead of a solitary seat recipe auto with open haggles. It's a deliberate and profoundly streamlined outline, with a forceful front end, strong hindquarters over every one of the 4 wheels, and an athletic squeezed midsection. The body is made from carbon fiber, framing a lightweight and unbending monocoque structure. In race auto mold, the motor and transmission fill in as auxiliary components supporting the back suspension. With regards to streamlined features, the Project One's outline surpasses the principal's limited Grand Prix cars. In front are an expanding front spoiler and dynamic louvers at the highest point of the front wheel curves that convey as required. In the back, an unmistakable shark blade helps steadiness. A hotshot diffuser helpfully channels underbody air, and the 2 organize extendable wing increments downforce when important. There's likewise an F1-style air allow over the rooftop to sustain the motor, and in addition different pipes to channel air to oil coolers for the motor and transmission. Inside the Project One, a settled combiner pail seats are coordinated into the monocoque, with tweaking for the driver gave by a customizable controlling haggle. The outline ethos is innovative moderate, with minimal shallow enrichment and punctuated by bunches of modern electronic controls. A 10.0-inch advanced show fills in as the instrument bunch, while a moment one close to the focal point of the dash works the infotainment framework. Most controls for working these presentations are in the F1 style guiding wheel, which is rectangular and joins move lights in its upper area. A significant part of the carbon fiber structure of the monocoque in the entryways is brilliantly in plain view, not covered up by upholstery. Mercedes said the Project One has a best speed of more than 217 miles per hour and can quicken to 124 miles per hour in under 6.0 seconds. In the event that it conveys on those figures, that speeding up would surpass that of the Bugatti Veyron, 0 to 120 miles per hour in 7.2 seconds, the Porsche 918, the same in 6.7, or any of the other late hyper-exotics that we haven't tried, in an auto with ventilating, control windows, and the Mercedes Command infotainment framework. Creation is relied upon to start in the second 50% of 2019 with a